1380. In 1380, Macdong Karim reached the Sulu Archipelago and Nolo in the Philippines and established Islam in the country through trade in several regions of the islands. 1521. The explorer Ferdinand Magellan set foot on the islands in 1521 and planted the cross on the island of Cebu, cradle of Christianity in the Philippines. There, 1542. Spanish expedition claims the islands and names them the Philippines after the heir to the Spanish throne. 1872. It was against this church environment that Kumbursa were accused and found guilty of allegedly orchestrating the Cavite Mutiny of 1872. They were sentenced to 1892. The Liga Filipina was a secret organization. It was founded by Jose Rizal on July 3, 1892. The purpose of 1896. Bonifacio and many others had escaped to Pugadlawin during their meeting at the house of Juan Ramos on August 23, 1896. Bonifacio urged his supporters to tear into pieces their cedulas as a sign of revolt against the Spanish government.
The history of the Philippines from 1898 to 1946 began with the outbreak of Spanish-American War in April 1898, when the Philippines was still a colony of Spanish East Indies, and concluded when the United States formally recognized the independence of the Republic of the Philippines on July 4, 1946. Beginning in 1906, the military government was replaced a civilian government, the insular government of Philippine Islands, with William Howard Taft serving as the first Governor-General. A series of insurgent governments that lacked significant informational and diplomatic recognition also exists between 1898 and 1904.
1894, during the conquest of the Philippines by the Emperor of Japan, the government evacuated to Australia following the pure evacuation of U.S. General Douglas MacArthur in March 1942. From Australia, they traveled to the United States where they by May had established themselves in Washington, D.C. on May 13, 1942. By 1945, a lesser known but perhaps more monumental message came from MacArthur General Headquarters on July 5, 1945. 1946, during World War II, Rojas served in the pro-Japanese government of Jose Laurel by acquiring supplies of rice for the Japanese army. 65. Before Marcos' presidency, the Philippines was the second largest economy in Asia, behind only Japan. 1972. He declared martial law in 1972. Marcos claimed that he had done so in response in the communist trip posed by the newly founded Communist Party of the Philippines, or CPP, and Sectarian Rebellion of the Mindanao Independence Movement, or MIM. Next, 1981. In a ceremony announcing the end of martial law in Hero Hall of Malacanang Palace, the presidential mansion Marcos signed an order providing that all the decrees and orders by which he has ruled under martial law would remain forced. 1983, Aquino's assassination credited with transforming the opposition of Marcos from a small isolated movement into national protest. 1986, accompanied by his wife Imelda and General Fabian Sieber, a close associate from former chief of the Philippines military forces he had murdered an American Air Force. 1992, the U.S. government insists that despite relinquishing its last military base in Southeast Asia, the United States will remain a Pacific power and continue to project its forces across the region.
The 1996 Final Peace Agreement, also called the Jakarta Accord, was signed on September 2, 1996 in Manila, Philippines by Manuel Yan, representing the government of the Philippines and Maurice Wari of the Moro National Liberation Front. 1997. In summary, the Philippines was more resilient to the Asian crisis compared to East Asian neighbors since most of the loans went to the productive sectors of the economy. Its financial system was more robust and available credit to business did not contract to the same extent on its neighbors. 1998. The 1998 Philippine presidential and vice presidential elections were held on May 11, 1998. In the presidential elections, Vice President Joseph Estrada won a 6-year term as a president by a landslide victory Ramos from 1992 to 1998. 2000. Estrada, popularly called ERA, was resigned from office in 2001 during a popular uprising in Metro Manila after an awarded impeachment trial in which he was charged with plunder and perjury. 2001. Philippine Vice President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, backed by the military and police, was sworn in as president today. Moments after Belered, President Joseph Estrada reluctantly said he will step down. 2004. The elections were notable for several reasons. These elections first saw the implementation of the Overseas Absentee Voting Act of 2003, which enabled Filipinos in over 70 countries to vote. This is 2005. The Hello Garci scandal, or just Hello Garci, also known as Gloria Gate, was a political scandal and electoral crisis in the Philippines. 2007. In 2007, Estrada was sentenced by a special division of the Sandigan Bayan to reclusion perpetua under a charge of plunder for the embezzlement of 80 million from the government, but was later granted a pardon by the President and his former deputy, Gloria Macapagal-Arroyo. 2010, the Philippines began using technology to streamline vote counting with the automated regional elections held in Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao o ARMM on August 11, 2008, 9,360. Also known as the amended computerization of Act of 2000. 2010, Benigno Simento Juan Aquino III, also known as Noynoy Aquino and colloquially as Pinoy, was a Filipino politician who served as the 15th President of the Philippines from 2010 to 2016. The son of assassinated politician Benigno Aquino Jr. and 11th President Corazon Aquino. He was a fourth-generation politician as part of the Aquino family of Tarlac.
Since came to the Philippines, our ancestors were already trading in Spanish galleon with China, Japan, Siam, India, Cambodia, Borneo, and the Moluccas. The Spanish government continued trade relations with these countries, and the Manila became the center of commerce in the east. Thus, the Manila-Acapulco trade, later known as the galleon trade, was born. The galleon trade was a government monopoly. The Manila galleons or Manila-Acapulco galleons sailed the Pacific for nearly 3 centuries, bringing to Spain their cargoes of luxury goods, economic benefits, and cultural exchange. The galleon trade became the fundamental income-generating business for Spanish colonists living in the Philippine island, with a total of 100 Manila galleons set sail in the 250 years of the Manila-Acapulco galleon trade.
Vasco's report, Filipino farmers and traders finally had a taste of prosperity when Governor General Jose Vasco E. Vargas instituted reforms intended to free the economy from its dependence on Chinese and Mexican trade. Vasco implemented a general economic plan aimed at making the Philippines self-sufficient, established the Economic Society of Friends of the country, which gave incentives to farmers for planting cotton, spices, and sugar cane, encouraged miners to extract gold, silver, tin, and copper, and rewarded investors for scientific discoveries they made. Monopoly. The tobacco industry was placed under government control during the administration of Governor General Basco. In 1781, a tobacco monopoly was implemented in the Cagayan Valley, Ilocos Norte, Ilocos Sur, La Union, Isabela, Abra, Nueva Ecija, and Marinduque. Each of these provinces planted nothing but tobacco and sold their harvest only to the government at a pre-designated price, leaving little for the farmers. No other province was allowed to plant tobacco. The government exported the tobacco to other countries and also part of it to the cigarette factories in Manila. The tobacco monopoly successfully raised revenues for the colonial government and made Philippine tobacco famous all over Asia.